Hi everyone, my name is Angie Plata, and today I'm developing the individual part of the collaborative work number two. After reading the contents of Unit 2, I'm answering the questions proposed. Question number one: what does it mean to be bilingual in Colombia? Well, I think that keeping in mind the national bilingual program, in Colombia, being bilingual means to dominate English as good as we dominate Spanish. Um, it looks like being able to speak English and use it as English would be our home language. Question number two: what would be the ideal scenario for bilingual program in Colombia to be successful? Well, I think the ideal scenario for bilingual program in Colombia required to comply with various aspects such as first, scope. The language teaching is not hampered by barriers of socio-economic state strata and internal cultures. Two, quality. The education be provided in suitable places, equipped with necessary materials and technologies, as well as trained teachers. Three, monitoring. The state is responsible to keep tracking of the resources allocated to education and verify uh, that the above aspects I mentioned are met. Question number three: what is the meaning of students are seen as monolithic population? Well, thinking in students as monolithic population means to treat students without analyzing the specific characteristics of the students as age, background, socio-economical strata, status, needs, and between others. Quality of education necessarily need to be aware of the specific conditions of students because it's not the same to teach to a group of kids of the country than kids of the city. And it's not the same also to teach kids in extremely conditions of poverty than kids with a really good economic status. All of these situations influence of the education. Question number four: what are the main critics to the national bilingual program? Well, I think the biggest criticism I will make to the national bilingual program is not to the program itself because the program is good, but it's about its implementation. There is no sense in having developed the program on paper about an aspect uh, of such importance for the country as bilingualism. If it's not carried out to activities and materialized. Although the program exists, many children don't have access to fairly decent education, even in Spanish, unless on conditions of bilingualism. The little time intensity, low teacher quality, and poor allocation of resources are some of the problems that today are reflected in the practice. Question number five: how is globalization connected to education and language policy in Colombia? Well, I think that globalization is the real explanation of the concern of the government concern by the bilingualism, and that is the real explanation of the national bilingual program in Colombia. It's more about pressure than a real concern or desire of the government of teaching people. I think people need to understand that nowadays speaking a second language is important. It's not a it's not a privilege or a plus. It's something that we have to do because eh, we will have more opportunities by work and by finances, and even inside the country or outside the country. Um, on these days, speaking English or a second language is important as speaking the home language. So I really think that Colombian people is not aware of that importance. Is I feel worried when I travel abroad and I meet people and seeing all these teenagers speaking English, Peru, Chile, Argentina, Brazil, and people in Colombia is not thinking that it's important. The young people, the teenagers are not seeing the importance of speaking a second language. So for me, the program itself is not the problem. The problem is how to do use the program to help people and to be in a globalization work and make sure that we have all the opportunities to develop as individuals and professionals. Well, thank you.